Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss the 21st chapter of The Invisible Man, which is titled In Oxford Street. So in the last chapter we discussed that what happened to the invisible man at the Great Portland Street, that he got a room there and he continued with his experiments, and when he was unable to continue there, finally he set fire to his room and then escaped with all his books and other things like the checkbook he had. So that was what happened in the last chapter. And now it was he was climbing down the staircase of that building, and he felt a bit of difficulty in going down the stairs because he couldn't see his feet. And moreover, though he could manage all that, it was a bit awkward because it was the first time it happened to him. Slowly he got down, the awkward feeling slowly vanished and moved away. And after that, when he got into the street, an amazing experience he had. He just ran into a boy who was taking a basket, or who was carrying a basket of soda water siphons. And the boy was all astonished. The expression that was there on the boy's face, seeing that expression, he couldn't control his laughter. Though he was badly hit, he was hurt, but when he saw that expression on that boy's face, he couldn't control himself. He just burst out laughing. And then he took the basket from his hand and just swung it in the air. And the very next moment, a cabman who saw all this, he came directly to him and he just took him by the hand, and he was badly hit and hurt. And this infuriated him. And with the basket, he smashed onto him. He just hit the cabman with the basket. And then the crowd started gathering there, a lot of people coming to see what was happening there. It all was a hodgepodge situation, and hustle and bustle was created by all that. And that invisible man understood that what problem he had created for himself, that he was in trouble with all the people gathering and coming around. So he thought it better to escape from that place, and he came out of that place. He saw, and when he was moving out of that place, a hansom is simply a wagon, two-wheel carriage, which is like drawn by a horse. So he was hit by that hansom. It just dug into his shoulders and he was badly hurt. After that, he found the dogs, that dogs could smell him, and that was the another problem. And dog was continuously following him. He understood what the nose is to the mind of a dog, simply just as the eyes is the mind of a human being. So he understood that dog could understand his presence. He could feel his presence, and the dog was continuously following him. And then he got a cab. He went around and got into the cab, and for a while, for some time, he had some respite. It was good that there was nobody in the cab, and was in that cold, in that bitter cold, in which he was almost trembling and shivering, and was badly affected by that, was sneezing continuously. But now he could rest for a while, for some time. The cab moved ahead, and after covering a small distance, it was hailed by a tall woman. She had some books with yellow covering and labels, and she held the cab. Now he got afraid that he thought that he had to escape from there without being noticed and without touching or hitting anybody. Otherwise, if his presence was noticed, then it would create problem for him again. There would be gathering and all such. Somehow he managed to escape from that cave without being noticed, and then it was the Salvation Army march. Yes. Salvation Army march. And lot of people, it was a procession, lot of people were there in that march, and there was loud blare of music, people just going in a crowd, and that music and song all was going on, and he got into that. People started jostling. They couldn't see him, of course, but they could feel the presence of somebody. Some people were nudging and jostling and pushing, and he was badly hurt, and he really understood at that time that crowd was really dangerous for him. He should avoid crowds, and so he somehow managed to get out of that crowd as well. And his throat was now very sore, the tonsil was worse now, and he was badly hurt. He was really feeling what excruciating. It was an excruciating experience, very painful experience for him. And then it happened that some boys noticed. Actually, he got into mud while walking, and as he got into mud, his footprints were visible. Now two boys noticed that, see the footprints, see them, the footprints are moving, and then they followed those footprints. Now he felt caught again. He slowly moved ahead, and then they were about to touch. He managed in proper time to escape the touch of those children, and then some other a girl and other children also joined them, and they were slowly following. And then he thought of an idea to escape from those children. He jumped to the nearby next house, and one of the smallest children, one of the littlest children, was very quick to notice that movement, and he said that, hey, the footsteps have jumped over the wall, let's go, follow. And they followed the footsteps. He had to run. He just ran 2-3 lines and had to cross the street and all that. And finally, when his feet were warm and dried, only then he could have some respite, he could rest. But now, okay, finally he was safe. The children had also gone, unable to catch him and find him. But now he had realized and understood this very well, that this invisibility had lots of disadvantages. One by one, all those disadvantages were coming up to him. The snowfall, if there was a snowfall, it would create an outline around him. If it was foggy, then also it would have an outline around him, and it would create a very awkward presence of him in the public, and it would be difficult for him to save himself from the notice of the other people. And he wanted to get out of that scrape somehow, and there in the street, then he saw the smoke coming out of the house which he set ablaze in the in the Portland street. So this is how he had such a kind of horrible and also a funniest experience there in Oxford Street. So this chapter deals with the experiences, the first experiences after the invisibility he had, and which made him realize the problems of invisibility, the disadvantages of invisibility. So that is all given in this chapter. Apart from all these things, he had some other collisions and things as well, but those were minor, but the main thing was for him to realize the disadvantages of invisibility. So that is all about this 21st chapter, and for the next chapter, keep watching. We'll see in the 22nd chapter again. Till then, thank you very much.